Hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you joined me today, and I have a very special kind of situation going on right now. But before we get started, my name is Yolanda. I am locating cozy, and this is Abroad Chat. So today I have a very different kind of guest because she is my guest in my home right now, but we met through Exodus Summit. So this is what's really cool. Exodus Summit just launched their new platform and on the Heartbeat, and you were speaking. Okay, let's back up. I have with me Ayana. Ayana is here visiting from the States, and we connected on the Exodus Summit Heartbeat platform. And you, please do share a little bit. I know we're jumping around. Editing will be involved in this, don't worry. Okay, so share with me how we first met. I had posted something and you were curious about Spain.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I live in Chicago and I was curious about Spain. I first came to Spain, late 90s during college.
Okay.
And I keep hearing just wonderful things about Spain. And my cousins and I had planned a trip to Portugal. And I thought, well, I'm so close to Spain, I might as well, stop in, check it out. And I went onto the platform, and the first thing that popped up was a post that you had made about Spain. So I reached out to you and we chatted a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never heard of Zaragoza.
Nobody has. Okay.
And I was like, well, I'm looking for somewhere near water. And, and you're like, well, it's not near water, but it's a real cool city. And, if you think about coming through, just let me know.
Yes. And that's it. So here's the thing. I've had, over the past year, I moved here in April of 2024. And I think starting in May, Katrina Michelle, I think, was the first person to visit me here in Zaragoza when I moved here. And we didn't know each other. We just knew each other through Exodus Summit also. But I've had many women that have come through here either for a day trip, for a couple of days. A lot of times they're like, I am maybe coming from Madrid to Barcelona or headed down to Valencia or Malaga or Sevilla. And I understand that Zaragoza is not everybody's cup of tea, even though it is the 5th largest city in Spain. But until you experience it, you really don't know. It's not really on your radar. So when I did my consultation with Ayana, by the way, her name has special meaning. We'll just leave it at that. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, but I want people to feel welcome and feel like they have resources no matter where they move to in Spain or where they want to go visit in Spain. But I always just suggest, hey, I know that you're looking for something beachfront, something that, has all these other bells and whistles with a certain known cities and populations. But I just say, check it out if you have a chance. Mm-hmm. That's it. And that's sometimes all that's needed. So you let me know after we did our consultation, we talked. That was almost 2 months ago, was it?
Probably about 2 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like right afterwards, and I just kind of put the bug out there. I'm like, hey, either whether you come or not, I hope you can, but just let me know. And then I think like a day or two later, you were like, yeah, I'm going to come through Zaragoza. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, it's really nice to be able to go somewhere, and we didn't know each other, mm-hmm. but it's nice to go somewhere where you know someone, yes. Right?
Yeah, know someone that knows somebody.
Yeah. Right. So I was like, let me stop through. Let me see what it's all about.
Yes. And so just leading up to it, again, you were in Portugal with family and enjoying that. And then you arrived yesterday. Yes. And here she is. And we connected. And I was like, I know you got 24 hours, but I also know that you've been traveling. So I thought, I don't know if you want to just sit still for a minute and, relax because you had a whole day of traveling. You left your hotel in Portugal at 3:30 in the morning?
Yeah, 3:30 yesterday morning. Yeah.
Wow. So I thought maybe you were going to be a little tired and wouldn't feel up to doing too much. And you were like, I have 24 hours or I'm here for a very short time. So I want to see all of it. Show me everything.
Yes, and we hit the ground running. And it was really easy to get here. So I flew from Lisbon to Madrid and took a bus, a €5 bus from the airport.
Oh, it was €5 to go from the airport in Madrid to the bus,
train.
to the train station?
Mm-hmm. But €5, and it's the last stop at the bus, so you can't miss the stop. Got on the train, and it's 2 stops on the train, so it's really easy to get here. And yeah, and we went walking, saw the beautiful parks.
Yes.
Zaragoza really is a beautiful city, and I really recommend, if you're in Spain, to stop through.
And the thing is, I don't always have time. So this was a treat because, just because somebody comes into town doesn't mean that I'm actually going to be able to connect with them and see them. But I knew that she was coming, and we had worked out some details behind the scenes. We're like, okay, girl, okay. But yeah, we hit the ground running, and immediately I'm like, okay, let me plan this out. And I said, I know I want her to see the park. I'm just walking down the main street in Zaragoza at any given day, just seeing all the people and the families and people just not stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not saying that people don't have stress in their life. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But you just felt the calmness.
Yeah.
Just walking around here.
And it's so family oriented, but it's young people oriented. It's groups of women, groups of men, it's older people with their children, it's small children. And so we ended up going out to dinner. Our reservation was like 9 o'clock?
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
And there were still kids out, everybody's walking. It's a different experience. And as a woman, it felt really safe.
Oh.
Yeah, it felt really safe, really comfortable and really safe.
And this is a question that I get asked a lot about how is your safety? What does your safety look like there? What precautions do you have to take? Now, there are some very common practices, like, I'm not just going, I was about to say, I'm not walking down a dark alley.
Yeah, we actually walked down an alley, but I asked you that, right?
Yeah.
I said, because we walked down an alley, and I was like, but there were people.
Yeah.
I mean, there was restaurants down alleys, and people hanging out. And so it's very different than walking down an alley in Chicago.
Yes. It's like, I'm not, and again, I never want people to come and think that, oh, crime doesn't exist in this other part of the world. Stuff happens. It's nothing compared with the United States. There's no comparison at all. But of course, you do take safety precautions, but overall, it was a non-concern. Yeah. Well, it wasn't something that was on the forefront of your brain at all, because you got the vibe. Once you were here, you were like, oh, okay, I am safe. People are walking around at night. When we left, we got back at like 11:30 or something like that. And everything was fine. Actually, it was later than that, I think. But yeah, we were fine.
And people were still out having drinks and
Yes, absolutely. So, okay, you said you originally wanted to visit.
I was originally going to Malaga, Valencia.
Okay, so
I was going to Malaga and Valencia.
Front, yeah.
Because, I was like, well, these are, I need beachfront. And Zaragoza is not beachfront, but it's beautiful. There's a lot of nature. There's the river that we walked down, trees and parks. So it's not beachfront, but it's beautiful.
Yes, and the access the areas that one might, if they were considering relocation, the access to get to the beach by train, whether you're going to Barcelona, whether you're going to Malaga, Valencia. I went to Valencia on a pet sit a few months ago. You guys, I already posted about that. But literally, I think I took a bus because there wasn't a train at the time. I took a bus, and I think it was a 3.5 hour bus ride, something like that, 3 or 4. I can't remember. I think it was 4 hours. But it was a nice bus ride. It was easy access. It might sound weird. You're like, no, I have to be right there in it. I have to live. And for some people, yes, that's what works for you. But just to see what the other options may look like is amazing. To have this kind of calm and peace in the city, and also have access to get to Barcelona by train in an hour and a half. It's kind of cool. Okay. So last night we went to the park. We walked all the way because we were going to take a train. Oh yeah. We were going to not take a train. We were going to take a tram to meet up with a friend, actually Kathy, who I will be interviewing soon. So just FYI, that's no secret now. But we went to meet up with her, and we were going to walk all the way to her place. But then I was like, we're going to be running a little late. Let's go ahead and hop on the tram. And right when we were about to get on the tram, the police came up and they were like, nope, everybody's getting off right now. We didn't know what was going on. But come to find out, there was a protest. This is my second time seeing a protest here in Zaragoza. And the thing is, it was a very huge turnout for the protest, but there was no threat. No threat at all of anybody getting tear gassed or being beaten or being dragged off to jail. Nothing like that. It was an organized protest that, they had, I guess they filed whatever permits or whatever they needed to do, and they did the protest, and it shut down the whole public transportation system. Yes. But they spoke, and I think by the time we left to actually go to dinner, it was done. It was done. But we ended up walking all the way over to meet up with Kathy. And from there, we hung out for a little bit, and then we went out to dinner. One of my favorite restaurants here in Zaragoza is called Chicana. It's an Ecuadorian restaurant. So we went there and met up with the owner, who's just really nice, and had a nice time. And it's one of those things where, when you suggest a restaurant and you're like, hey, let's go check this place out. And then when you bring your friends there and you're like, well, I really do hope they like this. They loved it.
Really liked it. We sat outside. And
yes.
Anytime I have the opportunity to sit outside, and again, it was late, right?
Yes.
It was after 9.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat outside, had a really nice dinner, a cocktail, really good time.
And then the mariachi, because the mariachi band didn't even show up until, it had to have been like 10:30, 11 when the mariachi band showed up.
Because we were there for a minute before they showed
I said a mariachi band. It's just this restaurant in particular that has the mariachi band. It's an Ecuadorian restaurant. They had the mariachi. But anyways, and they had like a special event also going on inside. But so that was really nice. And so then we came back and, said goodnights and all that. And this morning here in Zaragoza, I did start the Black in Zaragoza Facebook group. And we actually have some activities. And one of the things that some of us do is we go walking. And so on the weekends right now, because there's no daylight until like maybe almost 8 o'clock. So we went walking. And at that, I was able to take her over to see the cathedral.
Oh, wow. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was free.
Yeah.
I
haven't been to the cathedral yet. Let me just share that. So I'm going in. Because when I walked in, we were trying to find you two. And I walked in and I thought, well, maybe it was just like a quick turnaround. But no, there's like my gosh.
It's huge. It's a huge, gorgeous cathedral. It was free entrance. Yeah, you could spend the whole day just doing that.
Yeah, so that's on my list now. I'm like, and Christine and I both were like, why haven't we been in here yet? It's like, I don't know. I think maybe because I always see a line and I didn't know how much it cost. I didn't know that you could just walk in and stuff. So rethinking everything. I'm doing that soon. Okay. And then from there, we went over to the Ebro River. Yes. So we went to the bridge with the two big lions. And we went over to the Ebro River so you can actually see the backside of the cathedral.
Yes.
And stuff. And it was shocking because you're walking over the bridge and you're not really looking until I said, okay, let's take a picture here.
And everyone's out jogging, walking, kids in strollers, walking their dogs. It seems very pet friendly here.
Yes, it is. It's very, family friendly, pet friendly of all ages. It's a college town where we actually had our lunch brunch today. There's a university that's right there. Mm. And so like for all the different levels, people are like, oh, I have to go someplace that's kid friendly. Oh, I have to have some place that is handicap friendly. Oh, I have to.
You said that. And I told you, it just came from Portugal and everything's up a hill. Mm-hmm. And here seems a lot more ADA accessible than definitely than Portugal.
Yes. No disrespect to Lisbon or Portugal at all, because I do love Portugal, but the bottom line, it's not ADA friendly. And also in Madrid, I want to say is pretty flat land also. There are some hills, but not too many. But here, definitely in Zaragoza, you can get around very comfortable in the stroller. If you have somebody that needs assistance walking for the elderly or something like that, it's very easy to get around. And I do appreciate that, especially after traveling other places and realizing that the streets and the sidewalks are not all made the same and they're not accessible to everyone. Yeah. So I appreciate that. So we ended up doing 4.5 miles. And the thing was today, because I always like to, whenever we do our walks, I always try to pick a different route because Zaragoza is so walkable. I don't want to always do the same route. And so we did a completely different route that I hadn't even done today. It's not a walking trail, it's a walking city. And so we walked for an hour and a half. Well, actually, we walked all the way over to meet the group. So we walked for two hours. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to be sore tomorrow. I'm going to be sore tomorrow. But afterwards, we went to one of the cafes and sat down and enjoyed just, some bocadillas.
Yes. Great, again, great food.
Yes.
I have a to-go bag because I could not eat it all. Really good food. Again, got to sit outside. And like I said, Chicago, anytime I get to sit outside, enjoy the weather, I will. So we sat outside. The other thing I noticed a lot about being here, I am not even remotely fluent in Spanish. I have a word here and there. And, people have been very just kind and gracious about, when I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't understand. And there's a lot of hand gesturing, but I never felt like
judged or
thank you. Good way to put it. No.
You're not going to, well, I mean, if they are judging, you don't know. And it's nothing that's so overtly aggressive that it's like, like how it's done in some other countries in the United States.
We won't
we're
going there, but
it's nothing like that. You can make mistakes, but if they see that you're putting in some kind of effort, they just appreciate, and they're going to do their best. It's like a natural thing for them to do their best to assist and, give feedback or what have you. So that's much appreciated. And again, I'll be talking to Kathy soon about that, but that's one of the things that made her kind of come to realize for her. She was like, because she thought she was going to be in Zaragoza for just 3 months and then moving someplace else. And she was like, no, I think this is it. Okay.
I see why. And it's affordable.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. We've had 2 amazing meals.
3 people.
Cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, both of them were.
Yeah. I'll tell you. One was, I'll tell you stuff. So the meal that we went out to last night, it was 3 of us. And we each had a cocktail. I think I had 2. It was 56 euros, tip included. Today, we met for lunch. It was 3 of us. And we just had, water and we had some food and all that stuff. And it was like for 3 of us, it was like 41 euro. Yeah. You don't see that in the United States. So you only had 24 hours here.
Yeah.
Because originally you had planned to stay for 2 days. Yeah, but then plans changed and stuff. And then you're headed back to the States tomorrow.
Yes.
So what were your thoughts? Like, do you feel like you got just enough for the 24 hours that you had here? What are your thoughts about that, visiting for such a short time?
I loved it. I'm definitely going to come back because, like I said, I could have spent the whole day just walking through the cathedral.
Yeah.
But it's walkable, and I love just being able to be outside and walking. The time I had here, loved it, and would definitely come back. What
was like maybe some of your favorite? I know the cathedrals, definitely got to come back to that.
The cathedrals and the park, like the kids on the go-karts. And the little train that goes through the park. Just walking through the park was really nice. I liked that. Just there are lots of little shops and restaurants, and I'd love to be able to spend some time just doing a little bit of shopping and eating some more.
Definitely. Yeah, and I was telling you about Fiestas del Pilar is coming in October, and they're setting up. Like, it's happening like next weekend. So, and they're setting up now. And I was telling you about how we had done a walk last week and they were setting up for the food trucks. Yeah, that's about to happen. So all the staging and all that they're getting ready to, and it's going to be madness. And part of that is the open market down by the park. I had pointed out that park. There's like a little small park where they have like all the markets and crafts and jewelry and clothes and art and food and, like, what is that? Like fresh made things, produce and product, jellies and all kinds of stuff and candies and everything and jamon, more jamon and prosciutto than you could ever imagine. And, people that have the fresh cheeses, all that.
What I would have loved to do that we didn't have time for is the farmer's market.
Oh, yeah.
Because we stopped in the grocery store that had the fresh produce. Mm-hmm. And that was amazing.
Those big blueberries.
Right. I've never seen blueberries so big. So I would have loved to go to the farmer's market. So I will definitely put that on my list for next time. Yeah,
but I mean, it's very tempting to like get a bunch, especially at the farmer's market, to get some stuff and you're just like, okay, and now your bag is like 2 pounds over. Okay, now your bag is 2 pounds over. Oh my goodness. One of the things, I'll just share, this is really funny, you made me think about it. When I came with my sister back in 2023, and it was the funniest thing because we landed in Madrid and we were in Madrid for one night before we came to Zaragoza. And then we were going to be in Zaragoza for a few days. and then come back to Madrid for a few days. And my sister, the first day that we got there, we went to San Miguel, the food hall that's in Madrid.
Oh,
yeah. She saw the cheeses and tasted the cheese and bought the cheeses that she wanted to bring home. And I was like, what are you doing? This is day one. Where are you going to put the cheese that you got? Because she's like, oh, I want to bring it home. I was like, we're here for a week. What are you going to do with the cheese? And so she thought, she's like, oh man. So yeah, she ended up the shop owner actually just told her just to keep the receipt and bring it back. And she was able to come and pick up the cheese on the last day. Oh, but she was about to travel around Spain with that cheese because it was just so tempting. And that's what happens when you go to like the different markets and things like that. You literally get excited and you just go buck wild and you're like, oh, where am I going to store this? Where am I going to put this? And how much more is this? Is this like 2 pounds more of cheese going to cost me? How much in luggage fees? Because
right.
Like, oh, yeah, you know you were at capacity already. Just a little hint, okay? And so the food experience is wonderful.
The food is wonderful.
Yeah, and definitely coming back to the shops, they have really cute shops. And I'll just be honest, the clothes here, I'm not too much on the Spain fashion because they do not give for the curves. That is I. Okay. So, but for somebody smaller, like for my daughter and for somebody smaller like you, yeah, the fashion is great. They have great options, but for the curvy chick and me, it's not the best option. I have to look at other, but they do have some really cute stuff. There was one store that I went to that was for the curvy girl. It looked like 1980s movies.
Oh no.
I was just like, I walked in and it was expensive too. I was like, is this 80 euro?
So everybody here is very fashionable. We saw this woman today. She was an older woman. She had her hair was fully gray. She had long, fully gray hair.
Just combed back.
Yes, had on her big like Jackie O glasses, matching purse and shoes, her denim jacket. I mean,
she was stylish.
She was stylish. You couldn't tell her a thing. So.
And this isn't a one-off. This is like the norm. The older women, the senior, the elderly, the mature women here dress like they are in vogue.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is happening? And they're just out for their, walking to the store.
Or whatever, yeah.
It's amazing. They're comfortable and they're cute. Yeah. Yes. Much respect for them. Yeah. That's something that I noticed years ago when I first visited Spain. I came, especially here in Zaragoza. I was like, what? The seniors are so fashionable here. What's happening? So meeting the people in our community, like you met some Black women in our community in the Black in Zaragoza group, just wonderful women that I have met, that I've connected with, and I was anxious and happy to introduce you to them. And you met Kathy, and then you met Christine.
Yes.
I wish you could have been more, but yes. Tell me about what was the vibe that you got from them, just meeting them in this town, in this city.
Everyone is just like chill, right? Everybody, and it was an age range, drama, no judgment. Like, it's just a really good vibe. Like, it's instant community. I mean, we literally met yesterday.
And we're hanging out like we've known each other forever.
Yeah, it's a great vibe. And you don't feel like your energy is being drained. Sometimes you meet someone and you're like, no, everyone was cool and it was a really good vibe.
And then also some of the locals, because like I said, we went to Chicana last night and the owner, Brian, I walked in and was like, hi.
Yeah. Everyone's just really nice. It's a really friendly town. Some lady bumped me coming off the tram and she's like, in Spanish, of course, she's like, excuse me. And I was like, oh, okay, this is not the L in Chicago. It's
a very different vibe, and you don't feel like, the thing is to try not to carry the burden of what you know from the US and bringing it here. It's a hard thing to do because you're on guard.
Yeah.
When you first arrive, you're on guard, and then it seems like you have this unsaid permission, like, it's okay. You're okay. Yeah. And so, because the thing is, if you feel that release and then you're still fighting it, you are not going to have the best experience possible because you're still holding on to how you think the world is based on what you've heard. Okay. So I'm glad that you were able to see that and feel the positivity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't help but feel it. Like everyone's just friendly. People are walking by, hola. And so it's great. It's a great city.
That's great. I'm so happy that you enjoyed it. So I wanted to talk to you because I am the person that welcomes. I want to be there to support women that are traveling or that are relocating and to help them create a soft landing as far as knowledge, as far as experiences and expectations. So you just found out that part of me is actually being extended into the travel buddy experience. And when you heard about that, what were your thoughts?
That's a great idea. I think traveling by yourself, there are parts of it that you love and parts of it that you don't. Like for me, it's nice to sit down and have a meal with someone. I'm okay going exploring by myself, going to museums by myself, things like that. But when it comes to like having a meal, it's really nice to be able to sit with someone.
Yeah.
And it's also just nice to sit with someone and who knows the area. And I've just been all in your business. Like, girl, just asking questions like, how do you feel about walking down alleys at night?
Yes.
And so that has been really nice. And I think the travel buddy opportunity is a great one. Just having somebody, I say someone because like I said, we just met yesterday.
Yeah.
But having someone meet you on that end, on the other end, and take you to places that you want to go. And you were like, what do I want to do? Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like you're like, oh, we're going to do this. I love walking. I love being outside. I love eating outdoors. So that's what we did. We walked.
Yes.
We ate all of our meals outside. So it was my experience, but with a buddy. And
yes.
I love that.
Yeah. And it's very important because the thing is, I don't want to spend time with someone or do things with someone and be like, well, this is what we're doing. Okay. That does not work at all. It's like, because on top of everything, the person that I'm with or that I'm showing around is not going to have a good time. And I'm not going to have a good time.
Yes, I did. And it was a quick turnaround, but I had a great experience. I really did. And like I said, it's nice just having someone, on the other end who's like, don't worry about us walking at 11 o'clock at night,
yes.
And just the little nuances.
Yeah. And I was able to point, when we were walking this morning, I was like, oh, there's that burger place I told you about that has I know the best burger place in Zaragoza. Yeah. So, yeah, just to be able to point out those little things. I remember we did pass by another church that had the big display that was just right there. And I was like, oh, I hadn't seen it. And I was like, okay. And so just to see different things and know that the visual, the experience is appreciated. And it takes my time that I give because I wanted her to make sure that she had a good time, and it's nothing that was forced, like, oh, I have to do this, it's like, are you smiling yet? Oh, it was genuine. Like, this was a nice treat. This was a nice experience, and the community and the people were genuinely just themselves, and you just see the best in people. So, anything else that you want to add before we go? Thank you guys. First of all, let me just say this. Thank you guys. I know this was a bit different, but this is the first time I've ever actually had somebody here with me in studio. Okay. In studio talking, and it was such an honor. But do you have anything else that you wanted to add about this experience before you take off?
I would say do it. Even if you just have a day, because I was literally here for 24 hours, or even if you just have an afternoon, it's a really easy commute from Madrid and it's worth it. So I would say if you're in Spain, come to Zaragoza.
Thank you guys for joining, and please do take care. Make sure that you like and subscribe so you'll know when I have anything wonderful and insightful to talk about. By the way, how are you locating your cozy? What have you done that's just about you, that's brought you joy? Now, understand, I know that she's traveling right now and doing the most, but is there anything maybe a little special that you were like, I'm going to upgrade. I'm going to do something that's just for me?
It was that little pastry shop when we were walking, and I was like, I'm going to be right back.
Yeah.
And I just got a fresh croissant with jamon and queso, and that was my cozy for today.
That was cool. And you know what? That's perfect. That's a perfect example, because we were just starting to walk, but she was like, oh, it's me time. I need to get something to nourish myself and be completely open to this wonderful experience. And I tell you what, if you go on an experience and you're hungry and you're trying to hold it down, that's not fun at all. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I really do. I literally cornered her this morning and I said, this is what I'm doing. And I would really appreciate if you would mind taking a few minutes just to sit down and chat with me and talk about your experience here with being here in Zaragoza and hanging out with Yolanda Locating Cozy and her travel buddy experience. And you graciously said yes.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.